What a full house we've got, crikey. Good evening everyone and welcome to the Council meeting of the 26th of June 2023. We'll commence by reading the Acknowledgement of Country and I call upon Councillor Addis to do so. Thank you.
Thank you. I acknowledge the Wurundjeri Woi-wurrung people as the traditional owners and original custodians of this land and pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and elders from other communities who may be here today.
Thank you. Before we commence the meeting, I request that all mobile telephones are switched off or turned to silent. Thank you. The Council meeting is being live streamed on the Council website so you can watch proceedings of the meeting, councillor deliberations and voting. The meeting will also be recorded and made available on the Council website as soon as practicable after the meeting. My name is Councillor Felicity Sinfield and I'm the Mayor of the City of Boroondara. I will start by introducing my fellow councillors seated at the horseshoe table this evening, starting on my left, Councillor Jim Park, Councillor Cynthia Watson, Councillor Nick Stavrou, Councillor Wes Galt, Councillor Di Gillies, Councillor Lisa Hollingsworth, our Deputy Mayor, Councillor Jane Addis and Councillor Susan Bigger. I also acknowledge in attendance this evening our Chief Executive Officer, Mr Philip Storer, seated to my right, and our Manager of Governance and Legal, Mr Brian Wee, seated to my left. There are many other officers in attendance this evening and they will be introduced as they present their reports. I'll now move to apologies. Mr Wee, are there any apologies for this evening's meeting?
Through you, Madam Mayor, Councillor Franco and Councillor Thompson are apologies this evening.
Thank you. Item 1 on the agenda is the adoption and confirmation of the minutes of the Council meetings held on the 1st of May and the 22nd of May 2023. Councillors, can I please have a motion to adopt and confirm the minutes with one minor change, and that is on page 8 under item 7, the words item 7.7 be replaced with the words item 7.5 to correct a typographical error. Councillor Gillies.
As Mayor, but I would just point out that that's the minutes of the 22nd of May, not the 1st of May. The error is relevant to the 22nd of May minutes.
Thank you. Yes, there are the two sets of minutes, so it will be adjusted on the appropriate one. Thank you. And to second that, Councillor Galt?
So seconded.
Thank you. Councillors, is there anyone opposed to that? It appears not. I will then put that motion to a vote. All those in favour? Declare that item carried. Thank you. Item 2 is the declaration of conflict of interest of any councillor or council officer. I understand there might be a couple this evening. Are there any to foreshadow? I have Councillor Stavrou.
I would be foreshadowing at general business. There will be a conflict.
Thank you. Councillor Gillies.
Likewise.
Thank you. I don't see any other lights on. It is now the time of the agenda where we can... Oh, apologies, Councillor Galt.
I've just been advised of what's coming up in general business and I will be likewise dealing with it like that. Thank you.
Noted. Thank you. So I would like to ask my fellow councillors for a motion to suspend standing orders to enable a presentation or many presentations of the Urban Design Awards. Councillor Stavrou.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I would like to move a motion to suspend standing orders for the reason you gave.
Thank you. Councillor Hollingsworth.
So second, thank you.
Thank you. I declare that carried. It is with great pleasure that we head to the Urban Design Awards presentations. So tonight we will reveal the winning buildings in our 2023 Boroondara Urban Design Awards. The awards recognise high-quality architecture and excellent building designs in Boroondara completed since the previous awards were held. At its very core, these awards are about encouraging and promoting professionals in design and architecture who imagine diverse and innovative ways to protect our city's heritage and improve our streetscapes in a sustainable fashion. We will celebrate homes and heritage extensions to new schools, multi-dwelling developments across the 6 award categories. This includes the introduction of the new Best Sustainable Design category. This award supports our belief that sustainability and future-proofing our city for current and future generations should be at the forefront of urban design. I'm excited to have you all here with us this evening, as this marks the return of the awards program after a hiatus thanks to the pandemic. This year, the awards received over 60 nominations across the 6 award categories, which is triple the number of nominations we received at the last awards back in 2018. The calibre of nominations this year raised the benchmark for design leadership in Boroondara and beyond, with some of this year's designs receiving national media coverage, including one featuring on ABC's Dream Gardens TV show. I want to thank all those who have contributed to making this year's Urban Design Awards such a success. I also want to thank the judging panel, the independent urban design experts, Rob McGoran, Director at MGS Architects, and Craig Zani, Director at Hanson Partnerships, as well as our councillors, Councillor Lisa Hollingsworth, Wes Galt, Gary Thompson and Nick Stavrou. Thanks also to the award organisers. Of course, a very special thank you to those who put in so much effort behind the scenes in creating these impressive building designs that make such an important contribution to Boroondara's character and built environment. And on that note, I would also like to thank our team who have worked tirelessly behind the scenes in pulling all of this together. So thank you, David, to you and your team. And I will now hand over to you to do the next bit.
Thank you, Mayor, and welcome to all our guests. I'll now announce the winners of the 2023 Urban Design Awards and ask recipients to come forward and accept their awards and commendations from the Mayor and other judges. Yeah, just make sure it's turned on. Okay, there we go. So, Category 1, Best Heritage Extensions, Additions and Alterations will be presented by Mayor Sinfield. And the award winner is 74 Charles Street Q by Robson Rack Architects and Interiors. I'll ask you to contact us. No, that's for, no, hold on to that for a moment. Oh, yes. So while you're up here, there's also, the judges have awarded 3 commendations for this category, and the first one is 20 Studley Avenue Q, also by Robson Rack Architects and Interiors. Maybe just stay for a little bit longer. We'll bring up the other commendations and we'll get them all taken together. So the second commendation goes to 9 Randolph Street, Hawthorne, by Rio Frio Carroll Architects. Also, a special commendation to 35 Elgin Street, Hawthorne, Ross Tang Architects. So we'll get photos with all the commendations together. Thanks, everyone. Congratulations. So the second category tonight will be presented by Councillor Nick Stavrou. And category 2 is for Best Small-Scale Residential Development. It's the second one there. Yep. Okay, and the winner is 46A Kinkora Road, Clinton Murray Architects. Congratulations. The judges have awarded 2 commendations in this category, and I'll ask both to come up at the same time. We have a commendation for 56 Park Crescent, Kew, Andrew Simpson Architects. And we have a commendation for 17 Manningtree Street, Asui & Co Architects. We might ask the winner to come back up again. Sorry. They've already got their award, yeah. So the third category this evening will be presented by Councillor Westgold. And category 3 is for Best Medium Scale Multi-Dwelling Residential Development. And the winner is 15 to 19 Fenwick Street, Kew, Angle and Addition Office Architects. And we have a commendation, the judges have awarded a commendation in this category for 177 Auburn Road, Hawthorn, Splinter Society Architects. They're an apology for this evening, I understand. Thank you. Cheers. So the fourth category this evening will be presented by Councillor Lisa Hollingsworth. And category 4 is Best Non-Residential Development. And the award winner for this category is 254262 Burwood Road, Hawthorn, Idle Architecture Studio. Congrats. We have the judges have awarded 2 commendations in this category. Baldwin High, the Wings B&C by Brand Architecture. And the second commendation is for Carrie Grammer Centre for Collaboration and Creativity by Architectus. Thanks and congratulations. Yes, please. So moving on to Category 5, Best Apartment and Mixed-Use Development will also be presented by Councillor Hollingsworth in Councillor Thompson's absence. The award winner this evening, as voted by the judges, is 14 Elizabeth Street, Glenaris, Smith & Tracy Architects and Bascare. And the judges have awarded one commendation in this category to, sorry, the presentation has jumped through and maybe revealed a few early winners. Hold on. There we go. Pitch Architecture and Design for Riversdale Road, Hawthorn East. Thanks, everyone. The sixth and final category for this evening will be again presented by Mayor Sinfield. Category 6 is for Best Sustainable Development, and this is a new category in our Urban Design Awards for 2023. And the award winner is 2 Amy Street, Camberwell, Neil Architecture and Philip Johnson Landscapes. Just hang for a little bit longer. So the judges have awarded one commendation in this category to 13 Sunbury Crescent, Surrey Hills, to Parallel Group and Zen Architects. Thanks and congratulations. So congratulations to all our award winners and commendations this evening. Finally, I'd like to again thank our judges, Councillor Hollingsworth, Councillor Galt, Councillor Thompson, Councillor Stavro, Mr Rob McGorrigan and Mr Craig Zani. They've all done a wonderful job in selecting our winners from a record number of impressive nominations. I'd also like to thank Sylvia and our team who have worked behind the scenes to ensure the awards have run smoothly. That concludes our award ceremony for this evening.
Thank you very much. Let me just find the right page. So to David Cowan, our Manager of Planning and Placemaking, thank you again to you and your team. Now, just to afford the public gallery a little bit of time to decant, don't feel bad about leaving, but if you would like to stay, you're very welcome to. We'll just give you a moment. All right, councillors, I'm in search of a motion, please, to resume standing orders. Councillor Addis,
Happy to so move.
thank you, and Councillor Stavrou.
Happy to second, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour? Declare that carried. Thank you. That brings us to item 3 on the agenda, deputations and presentations, petitions and public submissions. Mr Wee, do we have any such items?
Through you, Madam Mayor, there are 3 petitions included in tonight's agenda for consideration. The first relates to not adopting a heritage overlay at the High Street Ashburton shops. The second relates to the Gervasoni Pavilion in Kew, and the third relates to removal of trees at Willsmere Park Pavilion.
Thank you, councillors. Is anyone prepared to move a motion to receive and note the petitions as printed in our business papers? Councillor Gillies?
As stated.
Thank you. And Councillor Biggar?
Yep, I'm happy to second that.
Thank you. I'll put that motion to the vote. All those in favour? Declare that carried. Thank you. Item 4 on our agenda is the informal meetings of councillors. And Mr Wee, I think you have an introduction for this.
Through you, Madam Mayor, the record of the councillor briefing and discussion on 22nd of May listed Councillor Watson as an attendee and Councillor Biggar as an apology. That was in error. The item has been corrected on the document to be adopted by council or to be accepted by council.
Thank you. So, councillors, is anyone prepared to move a motion to receive and note the record of informal meetings of councillors to include the changes as outlined by Mr Wee? Councillor Gillies
Thank you, Mayor.
and Councillor Biggar.
Yes, happy to do it.
Thank you, councillors. Is anyone opposed? It appears not. I'll put that motion to the vote. All those in favour? I declare that carried. Thank you. Do we all need to raise our hands for your benefit, Julian? That brings us to item 5, and there'll be no voting on this, is public question time. Council encourages the submission of public questions prior to 12 p.m. on the day of the meeting. Questions submitted prior to 12 noon will be provided a detailed verbal response as well as a response in writing. Those submitted after 12 p.m. will receive a verbal response if possible, but will otherwise be taken on notice for a more comprehensive written response to be provided in due course. Mr Wee, do we have any public questions this evening?
Through you, Madam Mayor, we have 4 questions submitted by 3 people before 12 noon today.
Thank you. Question number 1 is submitted by Montserrat Pesamenti. Good evening to you. The subject is paid parking at Serpils Lane. Thank you for your question, Ms Pesamenti. This question is allowed in accordance with Chapter 2 of the Governance Rules. A section of the question was contextual and will not be read, but the question has been amended to comply with the requirements of the Governance Rules and reads, can Council adjust the newly installed car parking meters and signage at Serpils Lane Car Park to allow 1 hour free parking like nearby Glenferrie Road surface car parks? I call upon the Director of Places and Spaces, Mr Daniel Freer, to respond to this question, please.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and through you. Ticket parking and associated fees were installed in Serpils Lane Car Park following the resolution of Council at its meeting of 20th of March 2023. Prior to the installation of the ticket parking, the car park contained a total of 89 spaces comprising of a mix of 3 and 2 hour spaces along with disabled parking spaces and 2 loading zones. This mix of parking restrictions was amended to a uniform 3p ticket and with the applicable fee to operate between 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. for 7 days a week. This is in line with the Council resolution and the associated report as considered by Council at that time. Business and the community were also advised that the fee would be introduced in the car park by letter on the 11th of April 2023 and the restrictions would be a 3p ticket as I've earlier described. As distinct from the 3 main car parks for the Glenferrie shopping precinct, which are governed by 2-hour restrictions, a fee for the second hour only applies. The Serpils Lane car park provides the opportunity for medium-term parking at up to 3 hours. This would accommodate the needs of shoppers and visitors that may need to spend more time in the precinct for their shopping, personal services and entertainment activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr Frere. Ms Pesmenti, you'll receive a written response in due course. Question 2 was submitted by Mr John Friend Pereira of Ashburton, and the question subject is Meet the Mayor segment. Thank you for your question. This question is allowed in accordance with the governance rules. A section of the question was also contextual and will therefore not be read. The question has been amended to comply with the requirements of the governance rules and reads as follows. Does the City of Boroondara plan to participate in this Meet the Mayor segment on ABC 774 mornings? If not, why not? I call upon the Director of Customer and Transformation, Mr Mansbazi, to respond to this question, please.
Through you, Madam Mayor. No invitation has been made for Mayor Sinfield to join the radio segment in question. Council uses multiple channels to communicate with our Boroondara community. These include, but are not limited to, the Boroondara Bulletin, 11 ward newsletters, our website and our social media channels. As Council's designated spokesperson, the Mayor of the day uses a communication channel best suited to reaching the target audience in Boroondara, likely to be interested in particular issues. In addition, councillors, including the Mayor, are accessible to the Boroondara community and can be easily reached by phone, email, mail and in person. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr Bazi. And thank you, Mr Friend Pereira. You will also receive a written response to your question in due course. Question 3 is from Mr Hundley. Good evening, Mr Hundley. The subject of the question is budget consultation. A section of the question was contextual and will therefore not be read, and the question has been amended to comply with the governance rules. The question is as follows. Please advise whether Council will be taking submissions each year from members of the public for proposals to vary the annual budget, both on the revenue side and the expenditure side for the 2024-25 budget and beyond. I call upon our Chief Financial Officer, Amy Montalti, to respond to this question, please.
Thank you, and through you, Madam Mayor, Council is yet to form a view about the process for the 24-25 budget year.
Thank you, Ms Montalti. Mr Hundley, you'll receive a written response to that. And our final question, also from Mr Hundley of Balwyn North. The subject of the question is bus services at Union Station. Thank you for your question. Again, a section of it was contextual, so I won't read that portion. And the question is as follows. In light of the route design and low service frequencies of routes 612 and 766 bus services, please advise on what, if any, advocacy initiatives Council is taking to have bus services brought up to standard to properly cater for residents and businesses in the area. Thank you for your question. I call upon the Director of Places and Spaces, Mr Daniel Freer, to respond.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and through you. The Victorian State Government has recently undertaken a public consultation process regarding Victoria's bus network reform with a focus on Melbourne's north-eastern suburbs. Council has provided feedback to the process, advocating for improvements in the network, primarily focusing on frequency, real-time connectivity with other transport modes, noting the pending completion of the Union Station, the full range of associated works, and the rerouting of existing services to better service high schools and tertiary students and activity centres. Council officers are meeting with representatives of the State Department of Transport in late July and will continue its advocacy at this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr Freer, and thank you, Mr Hundley, for your questions. You will receive a written response. That brings us to item 6 of the agenda, notices of motion. Mr Wee, do we have any notices of motion?
Through you, Madam Mayor, no notices of motion this evening.
Thank you. Item 7 is the presentation of officer reports. Does any councillor have any issue with the order of the agenda this evening or wish to flag a particular agenda item for discussion or questions for officers? If not, may I suggest the following items present an opportunity to be moved en bloc as per the officers' recommendations. And they are items 7.1, Triennial Operational Grants Report. Item 7.2, a contract in relation to the maintenance of leisure centre pool plant and equipment. Item 3, a contract in relation to 5 rear load compactor trucks. Item 7.4, the April 2023 monthly financial report. And item 7.6, the biannual report from the Audit and Risk Committee. That would leave the only item excised from that grouping on the substantive agenda of being 7.5, the discontinuance and sale of a reserve. So, there being no lights on, I'm in search of a motion to move those items if everybody's happy. Councillor Addis?
Yes, I'm happy to move those items, excluding 7.5. Thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Gold?
I'm happy to support that recommendation.
Thank you. Is anyone opposed to that proposal? It appears not. I'll put that motion to the vote. All those in favour? That item is carried. Thank you, councillors. And for the benefit of the community, when we move an item or move several items on block, it means that the papers have been read and that councillors are satisfied with the officer's report and recommendation. And so it is an efficient way of getting through our agenda this evening. Thank you, councillors. And thank you, officers who attended to present on those items. That brings us to item 7.5 on the agenda, the proposed discontinuance and sale of drainage reserve adjoining 15 and 19 Gardner Road in Hawthorn. This item will be introduced by Mr Michael Hutchinson, Head of Strategic Property and Revenue.
Thank you. Through you, Madam Chair. Councillors, before you is a report to consider commencement of the statutory procedures to remove the reserve status and sell the drainage reserve adjoining 15 and 19 Gardner Road, Hawthorn. The report details the background to the proposal. In summary, the land in question forms part of a 0.91 metre wide drainage reserve adjoining the property at 15 Gardner Road, Hawthorn, with an area of 54 square metres. The reserve is shown hatched in attachment 1. In summary, the reserve is in the name of council. There are no council or other service authority assets located within it. It has been enclosed within 19 Gardner Road, Hawthorn for in excess of 15 years and is considered by officers to be no longer required for the purpose for which it was reserved and therefore of little value to council. It is noted this report has been prepared applying the principles contained within the Discontinuance of Roads and Reserves policy adopted in August 2022. The owner of 19 Gardner Road, Hawthorn has made a conditional offer to purchase the land for market value plus costs, which is consistent with the policy. The adjoining property owners have been consulted on the proposal and no objections have been received. Should Council resolve to commence the statutory procedures, a public notice will be placed on Council's webpage and notification in writing will be made directly to all abutting property owners, informing them of the opportunity to provide feedback. If any submissions are received, a further report will be presented to a future meeting of the Services Delegated Committee to enable the consideration of any submissions and for a decision on whether or not to sell the land. If no submissions are received, officers will undertake the necessary procedural steps to complete the formal process for the sale of the land. Happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, councillors. Are there any questions for officers? Councillor Biggar?
Yes, thank you for that. I just do have a question. Can you remind me, because I don't think I saw it in the report, what's the, in this particular case, has it been initiated by the resident, the property owner of 19?
Yes, that's correct, Councillor.
And that's basically, that's the approach that we take, that these, because obviously it's been disused for some period of time, so it will just sit until, for instance, the one above it will do the same, will sit until a resident approaches us.
Correct, and that will initiate a process, and therefore, if there's more properties involved, there'd be more participants would be engaging with.
Fine, that's great, and I'm happy to propose when the time is ready.
That time is now. There are no further lights on.
So I'm happy to recommend the office, take the officer's recommendation. Thanks.
Thank you. I did just ask officers to scroll up. It is an 8-clause motion that is recommended on the screen there. And I'm in search of a seconder, Councillor Hollingsworth.
Happy to second, thank you.
Thank you. And Councillor Biggar, would you like to speak to your motion? Apologies. To assist you, is anyone opposed? There is not.
Yeah, I don't have much to say. It's relatively procedural, and obviously it's, I think that this is another case of where the recent decision we made to take this approach I think makes a lot of sense. And it makes sense for council and for ratepayers, and it makes sense for the residents who could use this land that we really don't need. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councillor Hollingsworth, did you want to speak to the item? Thank you. I will now put that motion. All those in favour? Declare that carried. Thank you. Thank you, officers. That brings us to item 8. Are there any items of general business? I believe there were a few foreshadowed. Councillor Stavro, you'd like to go first?
Did I hit the first? Yes, I did hit the first one. Yes, I do. There was an item to, I'd be seeking to take leave, so some motion somewhere.
Thank you. Yes, we have foreshadowed leave of absence for Councillor Galt, Councillor Gillies, Councillor Stavro, and possibly Councillor Franco if it was added in time. We do.
Franco and Thompson tonight.
And Councillor Thompson. So given your conflict of interest,
I will leave the room.
now would be the right time for councillors to leave. I'm advised we still have quorum, so all of those listed can depart simultaneously. All right, I think we're there. So, councillors, is someone prepared to move a motion that is on the screen behind me? Councillor Hollingsworth?
So moved, thank you.
Thank you. And a seconder, Councillor Biggar?
Yes.
Thank you. Is anyone opposed to that? It appears not. I'll put that to the vote. All those in favour? Declare that carried. Thank you. I'll just recall those councillors. Thank you and welcome back. Are there any other items of general business that anyone would like to raise? I have a couple of brief items, if there are no further lights on. The Burundara Recycling and Waste Centre, or the transfer station, is recently announced as the winner of the Australian Landfill and Transfer Station Award. As part of the Waste Management and Resource Recovery Association Australia Landfill and Transfer Stations Conference, the City of Burundara officers were nominated for the Australian Landfill and Transfer Station Awards. The submission was entered in the Outstanding Innovation Project or Facility Transfer Station category. So congratulations to Daniel Freer, George Batsakis and the team for the Outstanding Innovation Project or Facility Award open to landfills and transfer stations, eco-precincts in Australia, and is presented to the facility that has delivered cost-effective and high-impact success in its targeted field. So well done. As another item of general business, the Sports Turf Management Team of the Year Award for 2023 was announced, and we're proud to advise that the Burundara Turf Management Team have won the Sports Turf Management Team of the Year Award from the Australian Sports Turf Managers Association. This award recognises leading turf management teams in Australia who have delivered exceptional performances and contributed outstanding management operations and presentation of a sporting facility. It also values the importance of working as a team to manage facilities, advance environmental and sustainable turf management practices, deliver outstanding results, and promote the profession of sports turf management. The team delivered the redevelopment of the Freeway Golf Course with the planting of 5,000 native plants and shrubs, 125 native trees, and the management of 54 sports grounds, including drainage, irrigation upgrades, multiple sports training, light towers and cricket net facilities through a time of challenging weather conditions over recent years. The team's hard work has paid off with this well-deserved recognition, and my congratulations go to Nick Marino, Paul Locke, Shannon Bennett, Daniel Freer and the broader team. So well done. Are there any other items of general business? That brings us to item 9, urgent business. Are there any items of urgent business? Any items of confidential business? Item 10. It appears not. So that brings us to the conclusion of the meeting this evening. Thank you to those who have joined us in the public gallery and earlier for the Urban Design Awards. I'll now declare the meeting closed at 7:15. Good night.